Alright, hello class. Here is hopefully a super short video on how to write or what you should write about in your theory. So first up, you should really talk about, this is a momentum project, so what is momentum? Along with that, you should talk about what is impulse. Momentum, remember, is P equals mv, so it's the mass times the velocity. So you should probably talk about how momentum is essentially a function of how heavy and how fast something is moving, or the mass and the velocity. Impulse, remember, J, is equal to delta P, as in it's the change of momentum. So how are they related? Essentially, impulse is the change of momentum. So they're incredibly similar. Momentum is just this attached idea to, and this is why we use letters and symbols to make it short. So impulse is essentially just the delta P, or the change of momentum. They're incredibly related. So what equations, hopefully you know by this point, the equation I want you to use is F mean delta T. Because these are things that are easy to measure in your experiment, it's a lot harder to get its total change of velocity. Then, how are impulse, momentum, and force all related to your bumper? Well, as far as making this a good experiment, all of your impulses that would be J, should be about the same. Alright? Why? Well, why should they all be the same? They should all be the same because J is equal to the change of momentum. All of your cars are about the same mass, and they're falling essentially from the same height, so they should all be the same velocity, which means they should have the same momentum. However, so this should all be the same. However, the actual force and time the collision takes, these should be different. Hopefully what you should be seeing is that it's good when force is low, save your people, and the delta T will then have to be high. It would be bad if force is high and delta T is low. That would be a bad bumper. Bad bumpers don't take a lot of time for the collision and hit very hard. Good bumpers slow down your collision so it takes more time and therefore don't hit as hard. So this is all of the theory behind your bumper. Your bumper needs to have a low force so it saves people, and therefore an increased amount of change in time. Its total change in momentum, therefore its impulse, should all be roughly about the same across your projects. Alright, so hopefully this gave you some things to think about and write in your project. I again will be helping more during the writing process, but this is a really good place to start, so hopefully you are getting a head start on your writing. See you Monday. Have a great weekend.